Get over here, mother. So everybody, it's Amon here. Welcome back to another one of my videos, Amon's Reviews. Today's video, you see by the title, I'm going to be talking about Hercules from God of War. One of the most powerful versions of Hercules. Like I said in my last video, the most powerful version of Hercules, in my opinion, I would say is Marvel's Hercules. We're going to be talking about the brute himself, the Goliath, the champion of the gods, Hercules, the guy who was bullying Kratos, who arguably exceeded him in strength, with his powerful weapons, the Nemean cestus. But Hercules was being all high and mighty until Kratos jacked him for his Nemean cestus and got a platform dropped on him and bashed in the face and then planted in the sewers after Kratos gave him a plus ultra. A lot of humiliation to the champion of the gods. But this demigod to a godlike champion to this extent of his power within a set of matter for God of War 3, because that's the only game he's appeared in, and some different things talked about him, I think, in the God of War 3 novel and some other accounts and quotes about Hercules and what he can do and scaling wise and all that. I don't have mainline recording / scans to show a lot of Hercules capabilities overarchingly, but from my scans involving my playthrough of God of War 3 and also to say information that I will put in here through a bunch of different recordings, etc., and information I got from, because talking about Hercules from God of War is pretty easily, because it has mainline baseline understanding and scaling and all this different stuff. It's pretty easy to understand overarchingly though. But at the same time, when it comes down to say the matter of his strengths and power and what he can do overall, there's a lot of interesting things to be put into play involving what he can do. I'm going to talk about it again, like I said before, to reiterate. I hope you guys will enjoy the video. Love y'all. Is going to get into it. So Hercules, most likely having the same state of story involving Greek / Roman mythology, is the son of Zeus, son of a mortal woman, I forgot her name, and was born on earth, but took into Olympus after he was over here playing outside, and Athena recognized him. And how he was born was obviously Zeus shape-shifting into the husband of the wife, which is Hercules' mom, and then sleeping with her, and then obviously him being born a demigod. But Hercules being outside, Athena took him up to Olympus most likely, and then on Olympus he was being breastfeeded, taken care of by Athena, got breastfeeded by Hera, but it seems like in this version of Hera and Hercules' story, she's formed a motherly bond to him, has some great deal of love for him, and at the same time, obviously has his first name being of Hercules, with Hera's great deal of care for him and say love, but with Hercules being called up to him by the Romans, being seen as the champion of Rome, the mightiest warrior of Rome, the man who conquered all 12 labors, which in this, he did this at a popularity lust and at the same time being seen as a great defying hero, because this version of Hercules seemed like he just wants to be at the top and self-proclaimed hero, the best of the best. Doesn't seem like the person that was doing it for redemption for his sins of accidentally killing his family and children. But either way, it doesn't take away the state of the matter for his heroics and what he did, even though he's a hero of just trying to be a person with great man of glory. This man literally just did it for the money, it seemed like, in this coincidence of example. Let's say the same thing with the Thor of God of War, who is a hero in his own right for the kind of what a DJ does and what he did to protect the mortals in order to save his qualms and ideals of Asgardians in this, but is a reckless, brute, murderer, psychopath, scumbag, douchebag pretty much in this scenario. But at the same time, within the matter for what he did it and what he was doing involving these labors. Obviously the same feats and quarrel the matter involving him taking out the Nemean lion and getting Nemean cestus for his great heroics, which are not in the same power form of the Nemean lion, but in the God of War 3 novel, the Nemean cestus do have metal encrypted of the Nemean lion's claws, because a little bit of mythology history lesson for y'all. The Nemean lion has a hide and thick ass claws that are so sharp and so strong that they exceed all the metals of man and woman. So the Nemean cestus is ingrained with that metal on the claw, says lion engration on the fist. So with the gauntlets here, they both have the same strength and bite and pound and feel of the claws, but imbued it there through there, because they have an enchantment power that is colossally imbued through great Olympian magic in metal and steel. They were ingrained with the different metals and helping from Hephaestus in this data scenario, because Hephaestus forged a lot of the great heavenly grade A weapons. And at the same time, with the dwarves making Mjolnir, holding ingration of Thor's power as a placeholder is kind of same thing for Hercules, but as a weapon, it's not like anything else. That whole ingration of Hercules' powers, like Hercules having gauntlets and other say power where they imbued through a weapon. This is a similar case in the matter for this. Hercules most likely, as a child, was banging up on the snakes in his crib, possibly placed by Hera when she was getting mad at the fact that obviously Zeus is an unloyal man that cheats on her back to back and sleeps with a bunch of different women. And so because she hates the fact that Zeus does that, the unloyal bastard, she wants to take her anger out on his children. She always gonna try to do that. So maybe she put the snakes in his crib, but Hercules saw them little toys and crumbled up their necks and banged them on the floor, crushing them. But also breastfeeded him when she thought it was just a lonely little boy, and from her breast milk imbued Hercules with his godly strength that arguably in comparison to mythology could arguably exceed Zeus in the state of matter for his strength, which I would say that's how that would be in the case of power for him. That's my mom in the background. Thank you, Mom. But with his power, with that being said, this heavenly power in researching of his power, like I said, of Zeus, is arguably exceeding, or at least on the same front, because again, like I said, to rescind my statement, the power of Hercules arguably exceeded Zeus in all of his capabilities and account of his strength, but it depends on the account of the power of recalling power, a form of how the power of Zeus is like. And it kind of sounds where it's like I said flower for how the power is like in the flow and say the power that he has. But it is what it is. They can take up to a turn, but how Hercules like as a colossal figure, I definitely say his strength is in that state of possibility for how he's like. But besides his origin, most likely will be thrown off from Olympus and Hera's breast milk, correlating the Milky Way after Hercules nibbed too hard with breastfeeding, and with him doing that, he would imbue with his more godly burst of strength and doing obviously Hercules things. That's what that was his origin, and it's the different colossal heroics and etc. being the great ravaging champion imp of the gods, the great hero Hercules, the mightiest demigod, Earth's mightiest mortal, proclaimed this, and at the same time doing a bunch of different great, I can say, heroics within the case of his adventures through the world, going through all 12 labors, able to wrestle Cerberus, killing the Hydra, taking out the Nemean Lion, like I said before, doing a bunch of other shit. And also, the most greatest feat of his all is the fact that this man was holding the heavens, holding Earth, obviously putting in his lifting strength, which his lifting strength doesn't necessarily super matter, even though with his lifting strength he's able to do a great deal of colossal things, especially within the form of what he can do generally just with demigod level strength and warrior profoundness in combat and doing other greater things in the state of matter for his feats and etc. Hercules lifting the heavens after Atlas went to go and get some apples for him, with him getting apples for the person that sent him on his adventures and doing multiple different labors back to back to back, going on to the next mission, next mission, next mission, and next mission, back to back. But also another lifting strength feat that shows his strength, which isn't that much of a great feat because he's just lifting a platform of the god arena, where he was trying to throw the platform on Kratos and fold him off of the mountain peak of the arena. You guys will see that most likely later on, possibly, it depends, but you guys will see that he's trying to do that. And at the same time, with other lifting strength, he's able to lift Kratos, which isn't a big lifting strength because obviously Kratos don't weigh that much, especially in the same matter in comparison to Hercules. Hercules is little big brother, at least by the count of the time between Kratos and Hercules. Hercules is able to maul Kratos with the Nemean cestus. He's able to body him, bully him, trying to break his back. Able to hold him up with one hand and not even deal that much of pain with him. He's able to stomp him. Kratos is very strong, is able to overpower him even with the Nemean cestus, but not overarchingly with his big bulking capabilities and power. And with the Nemean cestus, he's able to bonk Zeus back, holding up so much ferocity and power and making Zeus get dwelled. It stuns him a lot. Like, this overarching power is a lot of him, but at the same time, with this power, which I don't want to have to go on a super tirade with this, it's just that his power is imbued with this big bursting shockwave magic that again is a big gawking power thrust, a power from Kratos, and he does a lot of different adamant things with it, building up shockwave stomps, pounding Hercules' face. And Hercules could even take these punches. He was getting cratered, as you see. This man Kratos is not giving him a break, making his face look like Sloppy Joe, giving him the plus ultra here, and just dies. But either way, with this power, and to make this more anonymity clear, I'm talking about in the glade and the correlation to say the matter of his power and what he does overall. Let me just take a breather. About to have a tongue thrust there. Hercules' power, even without the Nemesis, is strong, but against Kratos, he didn't do super substantially and couldn't do that much. He's also able to react and tag Kratos when he's moving with the boots of Hermes and tag him anyway, putting his speed at infinite and even considerably at a high ball, possibly immeasurable, within the count of him being able to bag so Kratos over here, even with him moving at top speeds, beyond faster than light, doing a bunch of different things within the state of his power, able to attack him, able to react to Helios' feat of his infinite light capability, Irradiation Solar Flare, and at the same time, what? Oh, you need to follow my slide to make guys, obviously. Okay, like I was saying, with his power, okay, that voice crack, my lord. Okay, guys, don't bully me in the comments. Puberty's hitting me hard, turning into a man, got the scruffle mustache. But besides that, also happy Thanksgiving, because the time that I'm recording it, it is Thanksgiving morning. But at the same time, with this, well, I feel like I keep saying that, but I'm just going to course what I'm saying. I'm just saying, with his power, at the same time, it's not exceeding that in the state of power involving it, because his speed isn't like that. It's just his reaction speed. But I would say with his power and able to ragdoll him and bust him every time he's able to actually blitz past him, because it depends on the matter. Generally, you won't be able to do that, but the fact that he's actually able to do that at the state of your speed and at the same time reaction speed, I would put it at that. Talking about his attack, so hold up. Say makes sense. A pack, yeah, I said that right. A pack of his attack potency His attack potency has a lot of different radiant weird things, but I would say generally, since he's able to overcome Kratos in a matter of strength, I would say he has infinite capabilities of strength. He's definitely a fucking planet buster, and at the same time, his capabilities with strength, I would say, are measurable in length. But overall, with what he can do, is a very inanimate killer adversary, a brute that was bullying Kratos and wasn't showing no mercy, over here being the school bully in comparison to Kratos. But it doesn't take away the capabilities of Kratos. It's just that Kratos was having a very hard time with this Goliath, the great god of strength, Hercules. With his speed, to go more into depth, that's only in the state of matter, again, to reiterate, within the case of his reaction speed. But in the case of what he has in the form of speed, I would just again put him at infinite capability of speed and plausibly immeasurable to highball at the same time. With the Nemean Cestus, his attack potency is obviously amp, because that's just in general with the count of his capabilities, attack potency. But since it's we will be able to overrail Zeus in the power capabilities in the form of how they're like, I would say plausibly to a high, very high extent state of matter, he is definitely at multiversal range within the form of him being able to take on people that are able to get to the extent of height and what he can do. So again, to recap, without the Nemean Cestus, I'm trying to make this clear as good as possible, because I keep talking and it seems like I'm about to fucking flake my mouth, excuse me for my language. Without the Nemean Cestus, he is just planet plus. But with integration of the Nemean Cestus and other pounding capabilities of him within the set amount for feats, how he's able to take on Kratos, the fact that Nemean Cestus are able to bang up on Zeus, I would put him to highball multiversal, generally multi-universal at his high cat correlation and his capabilities. Then the durability, he doesn't have the best durability, but he's able to take at least the substance matter of the game, able to take Julio's light straight to the face and keep running that Kratos. He's able to take different bang up and moves on him and able to deal with them carefully and carelessly. It doesn't really matter. He's able to take Apollo's arrows and not really get affected. He's able to take fire, but Hermes bursting fire with him running at top speed would actually damage him and burst him away, with Kratos using that to his greatest advantage. And also at the same time, within the case involving how his durability was like when Nemesis got took from him, it was very bad. He does not have the best durability. He can dish out the stuff, but he doesn't have the capability to take it. That's the thing. He's very powerful, but if you have more overarching capabilities or can outsmart him, because with his intelligence and skill, he's a great warrior, but he's more just a slugger pounder. He doesn't really have great A-state capabilities or intelligence in combat super. He can strategize, and he seems like a considerable good defining leader, a case of form of how he was being a general, acting as a god of war for Zeus within the defense for Olympus against Kratos, with Kratos trying to bring the fall of Olympus. But at the same time, again, to reiterate, and I'm like saying that back to back, this man is just a brawling beast that overweighs a lot of the capabilities of others, but can't take in that engagement of the same state of power defect and people coming at him with this power. So I would say his durability, because he was taking Nemean shots and he was moving good. He was moving, diverting the hits of Kratos, moving up on him, pulling some wrestling moves, trying to pull a Hulk. And that was a cool act from me. He popping that troll. But within his capabilities and what he's able to do all around, it only depends on the matter, because in the case involving how he's like and how he does stuff, he will most likely not be able to take it unless he's fully focusing, and generally he's cocky and a very arrogant person, so he won't really hold the same ability of being able to really face a being that can really bring on a correlation and pain against him possibly. But I don't really know. It depends on the matter. Because I understand his durability perfectly fine. Obviously, I'm making a video about his capabilities, how powerful he is, what he can do, his origin, etc. And the same matter for what he's able to do, etc. I'm just saying, in the form of his durability, it really depends. But for what Kratos did to him, I would definitely say that his durability is just in the planet plus range, and definitely can endure anything unstable in the state of matter for the power capability of that as well. So it really does depend, but it's up to your interpretation. I don't really know because we don't really see him taking too much, and he dishes out so much from the calculation. I don't really get how much he would be able to take. But from my theory, I would just say planet plus capabilities of attack, because you couldn't do that much against moves and capabilities from the Nevi ancestors that were doing a bunch of different damage that he couldn't take. But at the same time, he can endure considerable set amount for the capabilities of the Nevi ancestors to do a rounding up of that power. But in comparison to others, he would get bodied instantly, because when he get hit in the core of the body, he can't do that much. But that's it for Hercules. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hope you guys have bared what I've tried to say. I've been trying to make this clear, plain and simple, and good as possible to you guys. And to fully go in conclusion and make sure you guys understand all the same things I was trying to say. I'm just saying, with his pounding power, he dishes out hella bursting wrath. But when all that power is reciprocated back to him and is pummeling him, he cannot take the heat. And I say the matter of his power, what he does, and his origin, etc. I was trying to make that clear as well. I'm glad I can talk, correlate, and form, can articulate what I'm trying to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said before, I love y'all. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace out, Marmy.